It's time for AggroChat, the official podcast of the Tales of the Aggronaut blog and stalwart gaming community, where we talk about stuff and things, and the stuff about the things, and sometimes gaming. I'm Belghast, and let's start the show. Hey folks, it's that time again, time for another episode of AggroChat. This is episode 531. Tonight I'm joined by Ammo.
Hello.
Ashgar.
Hello.
Grace.
Hello.
Tam.
Hello.
And Thalen.
Hey there.
So we have a surprisingly long list of topics here. One of them that I don't think I've talked about, but I found really interesting, is Commodore is back as a company.
What?
Why?
So
Doing what?
okay, so
That's my question.
Commodore has lived this weird half-life of being licensed out to dumbass products for a while.
Uh-huh.
I mean, this is the same thing Atari's been doing.
But YouTuber Perry Fractic and a bunch of people from original Commodore have bought the rights to all of the Commodore trademarks minus Amiga and are now going to be producing products again. And so like Jack Trammell's son is part of this, like a bunch of the engineers that designed various chipsets for the Commodore are a part of this. Like, legitimately, this is the closest that we've ever had to Commodore being back and a thing. And also, they have announced their first product, and it is the Commodore 64 Ultimate, and it is a C64 look-alike device with basically something akin to a Mister that's an FPGA system that is emulating all of the original chips, but it also has sockets that you can put some of the audio chips on the board, like so that if you want real like audio coming from the C64, you could just slot those chips in. It'll also, like, by default, it feeds out to, 1080p HDMI, but you can also hook up an original Commodore monitor to it. Like, it is not 100% the same. Like, it's got Gateron switches for the keyboard and stuff like that, but like, it's $300. Like, that's kind of the catch there, and then the fancy retro clear edition thing is like $500, but like, it's a legit product. This product has been released before, but is now being released in this new form factor underneath the name Commodore. So, but apparently, like, this is just the beginning, that they intend on releasing a lot of official products with the Commodore name.
What?
I hope this
really
ends up
entertaining.
It's very funny.
I hope this ends up being a viable business.
Like,
will
they're
be
planning on
surprised.
making new Commodore OSs.
Aww.
For who?
For
Yeah.
enthusiasts, I guess.
I
I
mean,
hope there are enough of those.
I feel like not having the Amiga license is like a big, like,
That's a big hit to me, because like that's what I'm super nostalgic about, is like the Amiga era.
like, I absolutely believe that there are people out there like champing at the bit to buy a new actual Amiga.
There's another
C64,
person
not so much.
There's another person that's working on a new A1200 that is a different project, but like also the licensing for the Amiga is apparently even more fraught than Commodore was.
I mean, I have a lot of nostalgia for the Commodore 64,
Oh, same.
but nobody should really want this. But it's still tempting.
Like,
Because
it's
I have
cool.
a lot
It's
of
really cool.
nostalgia.
I mean, and apparently it is compatible enough that you can like hook, original Commodore hardware to it, and it will work. Also,
And if I had any of that, that would be a selling point.
right. Also, you can like hook all of the original stuff, and apparently they're making it so that you can stream tapes to it over Wi-Fi.
Oh man.
That is
That's an interesting choice.
genuinely
it's
weird series of decisions.
Yeah, no, I think this is really cool. I'm not lining up to buy one.
Yeah,
but
no, I love that this is a thing, but
Yep.
I'm just thinking, like, Commodore 64, right? This is one of the things that is older than me by a lot, actually.
I mean, it's barely not older than me, or like barely not older than me. I mean, like, I can remember playing with my cousin's C64 when I was very, 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 very tiny.
I mean, this was what we had when I was in elementary school. The GT classroom had like a couple of C64s, a couple of Apple IIes, and a Commodore PET.
It was
Yeah.
my first computer, and it was old. Like, it was a hand-me-down when we got
Yeah.
it.
My first computer was a compact, still running Windows 3.0. So while we had Apple IIs in school, I never got to any of these.
But like, this has the most chance of being a thing that I think has existed so far for Commodore. I mean, you can only get so far on nostalgia, so we'll see what comes of this.
Yeah, right? Like,
If they could get the Amiga license, I could see that being more adjacent to modern computing.
Oh
than
yeah,
C64.
and Amiga people are a different breed.
Well, and let's be honest, Amiga Workbench was way ahead of its time.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's a reason the Amiga was what you went for if you wanted to do like AV and stuff for a while there.
Yeah. I still have my A3000 in the closet, and at some time I will break it out and hook it back up.
Get an Amiga with a video toaster, you were set.
Other thing that I do not think I have talked about is it is almost Blaugust time, but I am not running Blaugust this year. But I have built a community of mentors and such, and they are taking the load off of me because
Hooray!
I can't handle it right now for reasons we talked about last week. But I have been very happy to see like how quickly it has come together, and Cricket specifically has been leading the charge. So if you're curious, Google Blaugust Media Kit and all the links are on that. That is the page that has the most SEO. So it gets a lot of hits. But anyway, like signups are open. It will be starting. It is a slightly modified version of the normal Blaugust format, but also is still very much the spirit. So I am super happy to see that it is actually going to happen and that I don't have to run it. And to me, that is the sign of a successful community, is when
Indeed.
you can step away and it continues to exist. Okay. What is the upgrading a PC is a pain right now topic?
Oh no.
oh god.
On a scale of 1 to 2021, how bad is it?
Like, it's not 2021 bad, because I can't fathom, like, that is a level of badness that I don't think I have seen in a very long time. So in summer of 2021, there was a thunderstorm, and I discovered that my house had insufficient surge protection. Yeah, it's sweet. Let me tell you, cool thing to discover.
I lost a modem to that once. Never an entire PC.
Yeah, so it blew up my power supply and CPU. Needed to replace my motherboard, needed to replace my CPU, do all of this in a hurry. So I've had a replacement, like, what motherboard and CPU could I buy at Best Buy that day, kind of like computing
Not
situation.
much of anything.
Uh-huh.
And I lucked out, comparatively speaking. I'm running a Ryzen 7 5800X, and I paid too much for it by a lot.
Of course you did.
But it is a largely perfectly functional CPU, and I could get to the performance of what I had been using previously, by overclocking it, which is fine mostly. But now it's been 4 years of me consistently overclocking the CPU, and it's starting to have issues. It has not. I have not been treating it kindly in order to eke out the performance that I want. Getting just and so like in order to upgrade my CPU at this point, unless I just replace it with the same thing, I need a new it's an AM4 socket.
Mhm.
Yep, I got caught in this.
So I can spend like $800 or $900 to replace I could spend like $600 to get another AM4 socket CPU, or I can spend
too much.
like about twice that to get a new motherboard and an AM5 CPU.
That also feels like it's too much.
Everything feels like it's too much. Like all of this feels like it's too much.
I just did a similar thing to get out of my AM4 CPU. I want to say 2 years ago. Well, no, not 2 years ago. A year and a half ago-ish. End of like 2023.
Yeah.
And it didn't cost me quite that much.
So you did it at the correct time.
Oh.
Because now all of the in 2023, the AM5 CPUs weren't noticeably better. Like the stuff that they were doing with them wasn't noticeably better because none of it was optimized than the AM4 socket stuff. And you didn't nobody was really successfully using DDR5 RAM, which was like just the other thing that you were getting out of those fancy new motherboards. So
Right, that was the annoying thing. I had to get new RAM.
Yeah. So that's the other thing is I got to get new RAM. Problem now is when everybody is going to upgrade because now it's actually an upgrade. Yeah, and I was looking at my options. It's like, if I go for something like really top of the line, right? Like I go for a 9950 X3D. It's not dramatically more expensive than like another AM5 CPU, but they're all expensive. Plus the do I want to perform delicate surgery involving thermal paste on my computer, knowing that if I screw it up, I'm out like $1,000. And so that's a whole thing. And then discovering that PC configurator sites, there's more than they used to be, and they're all kind of disreputable. There used to be not very many of these, and they were mostly decent. But all of the ones that I used to use, or at least used to
did PC Part Picker go away or something?
PC Part Picker is there, but PC Part Picker doesn't assemble your computer for you.
No, it does not.
There's plenty of places where you could. PC Part Picker is still if you're gonna build your own, it's still just the way to go. Totally fine.
It's also great for checking to see if your upgrade is going to work with the stuff you already have.
Yes.
Yeah.
Will
this video card fit in this case?
Yeah, which was the main reason that I was like, oh no, I have to upgrade. I was like, okay, in order to upgrade the CPU, I got to upgrade my motherboard. Upgrading my motherboard, these other things are not valid. Okay, we're going down a rabbit hole of incompatibility here.
I was looking at pre-builts the other day, and they're outrageous.
Yeah, pre-builts, that was the other thing, was that a pre-built is nuts. And nuts
4K nuts right now.
Oh no!
That's for looking at for a 5080. Yeah, it's 4K.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but how much is it if you decide to not go with one of the overpowered 550 series graphics cards? Overpriced 50 series graphics cards.
This is the part where it becomes a giant pain for me, right? Because pricing things out normally, it's okay, well, I can spend $1,500-$1,600 to update to just get the hardware and do all the work myself, or I can in theory I can spend a little bit more than that and get a fully functional computer, and then I have a home computer that I can do as long as I can get a cheap graphics card. None of these there's 2 configurator sites that will even let me choose a graphics card less than a 4 series.
Ugh.
The stock just doesn't exist for those. That's the problem.
Yeah.
If you've looked at a 3080, it's not that much cheaper than a 4080 or a 5080.
Yeah, I want a 3050.
So you want an Intel B580.
Yeah, like if I could say use onboard motherboard graphics, I would. Because that's all it needs. Like we're talking about
No. An Intel Arc card.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like the Arc Battle Mage. Like they are
Those are legitimately
apparently
good cards in
legitimately
the
good
price
cards.
range that NVIDIA doesn't make anymore.
Yeah.
So like that's your best choice for anything that was looking at like a 60 series card, the 50 series card. Look at one of those.
Yeah. Because it's just like and a lot of that was the other thing is that a bunch of the configurator sites I was found, they don't even have like
No, they
Intel
wouldn't.
cards aren't even an option.
No, they wouldn't be.
I mean, the other option is to go to like an APU.
I mean, you can just leave out the graphics card in a lot of cases.
Yeah, I mean there's one or two that I found. There's one of like the configurator sites that are like, yeah, you can just not have a graphics card. We'll throw a bunch of warnings at you about you kind of need a graphics card to do any gaming. And I'm like, yeah, I know what I'm buying, but they don't have the other parts that I need. I can tell it's different from like part hunting in like the early pandemic where it was just like there's no stock of everything and graphics cards are through the roof. Like graphics cards are still nuts, but like I don't know, maybe I'm just inured to how heinous the prices of graphics cards are at this point.
I am not happy with the price of graphics cards.
Yes. No, they're unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, like I shouldn't have to drop 2K on a graphics card.
Well, that's just something I'm never doing, literally ever. So,
but also like that's just what they are right now.
And that is why I still do not have a 40 or 50 series graphics card.
Yeah, I live in constant fear that my graphics card will die.
Yeah, like
compounded by the fact that my go-to graphics card manufacturer doesn't make graphics cards anymore.
Yep.
We will miss you, EPGA.
We do.
Yes.
I splurged on my new rig last year, and now I just hope and pray that I don't need to replace anything for a really long time.
Yeah, my current rig was new in 2017, and I've upgraded bits here and there with it. I've been trying to like hold off on the full update, but like the full rig update is looming, but just stomach turning prices and inconvenience to do so.
Well, and kind of the thing that's pissing me off about the state of graphics cards right now is like a 5080 isn't that much more performant than my 3080. It's just it has more AI bullshit built into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have my big splurge because I got a really good deal on it is I have a 4090 and I'm pretty happy with the 4090 because I feel like it was the great graphics card before everything got riddled with AI nonsense.
And it is also the graphics card people picked up to do AI nonsense. So It went away immediately.
Yeah, it's like I got real lucky getting a hold of one and they're just not available now. They just don't exist.
But I guess what I mean is like, you know, when you're running games on like a 5080, it's not like you're getting that good of a true frame rate. You're getting like generated frames.
Yeah.
Which is the most ridiculous.
Hey.
Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, frame gen. I don't want to talk about frame gen. Get out of here.
We're going to replace the real moon with an imaginary moon that looks better.
Yeah, it's so frustrating in the modern, like it drives me nuts that I long for years gone by, like earlier, less accessible generations of PC hardware where I had to like worry about stuff. It's like, oh, like I never have to worry about like settings. But like frankly, that was less bullshit than this.
Yeah. No, like my argument always used to be the difference between PC and Apple was that PC would let you do what you wanted, and that has been the case for quite a while now. Like I have to fight with Windows over everything.
But don't you want to use Copilot, Thalen?
Hate. Just hate. I had to buy a new TV yesterday because the old TV died. And, I would feel bad for my child if, like, I took the Switch away from him for a long period of time. He was very sad about it. So I got the new TV, and boy, let me tell you, the amount of time I spent going through that thing and shutting off every stupid AI
Yup.
garbage I
Ugh.
could find. It every time you turn it on. If you go to the home menu, it's like let me be on the network. I can do so much more on the network. You will never be on my network, TV. Just be mad about it.
I dread the day that I actually have to buy a television instead of a projector because I've managed to escape this whole thing.
I considered looking at like business monitors instead.
Gonna say, if you have something else running your various internet capable TV, who needs the TV to do it?
Yeah, I have a PlayStation 5.
I do not. Boy, do I not want a smart TV.
No.
Like, I'm actively mad about any smartness on my TV.
I do have a smart TV and I'm not mad about it, but it's sort of, I could have a TV and a Roku, or I could have a TV. I replaced the Fire Stick with a Fire Capable TV.
That's fair.
Final Fantasy XVI is really good.
So it just took me a long time to get through this game.
It is
Because
very
I've been
good.
playing through it in bits and pieces.
I really need to get back to it because I played a decent ways in and something interrupted me. I don't know.
I think the first time Path of Exile 2 interrupted me. But yeah, I am nearly to the end of this game. Wrapped up all the hunts, all the optional side quests that are not part of DLC. I'm trying to decide whether I'm going to beat the game first or play the DLC first, and probably going to play the DLC first. Although I am told that these were basically bonus dungeons and they're harder than the final boss.
Yeah, that is accurate.
Wouldn't be the first time.
The first one is shorter, and that's the one that has a lot of Final Fantasy XIV kind of things. So that one was very enjoyable. I actually have not finished the second one. I keep forgetting to. I need to get back to that one.
My only complaint about the game was that there were several fights that I thought were about 3 times longer than they needed to be.
That is fair.
I have found this decreases as I get better at the game. Because once I managed to figure out how to effectively stagger enemies and get some, let's call it late game capabilities. Although not even that late, Judgment Bolt is one of the keys to like doing a bunch of damage during stagger.
That is true. But I think the last
fight has a bunch of phases.
Yeah.
That are unavoidable.
That's fair. That does happen during a lot of Esper fights as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're doing a bunch of damage and whoops, you got to this point in the health bar, time to go to the next phase.
Yes. The last set of abilities, I think the last primal or not primal or whatever that you get was definitely one of my favorites just for the flashiness and the fun, and it does a lot of damage, especially when you combo it with some other skills. Like
that's probably my
Judgment Bolt.
Second favorite.
Oh yeah, I love that one.
But also, it is very flashy and it is very fun, and I get murdered when I try to use it because some of the things have very long windups.
That's where you freeze some of your enemies first. It requires a very specific combo to really be able to unload with it. But if you can pull it off, it's very fun.
Mine was using Garuda to get the stagger down and then unloading with it.
Yeah. And also, yes, using the Judgment Bolt or whatever for the ridiculous multiplier numbers.
Very fun. Yeah, the combat system in this game is just amazing. Like I mentioned when it came out that they got the designer from Devil May Cry to work on this game. So it is definitely a step up over FF15. It's like a huge step over FF15. And even a step up over the remake, which basically has the Kingdom Hearts team working on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's the best version of Final Fantasy action combat that we've gotten.
Yeah, it was the first one of that style that I actually enjoyed and didn't just hate the whole time. actually had fun with it.
And it didn't get a ton of recognition the year it came out, but yeah, I have to say this game is actually pretty great. It has also got the best kaiju battles in any game I have played ever.
Yeah.
They're pretty awesome.
Oh, 100%, yes. Plus, Ben Starr is amazing as Clive, and just Ben Starr in general is a wonderful troll and one of the best things to happen to Final Fantasy recently. Also, he loves Final Fantasy VIII, so...
Yeah, I've been having a lot of fun. Looking forward to knocking out the DLC and getting this one finished. Because the next game I would like to play is barreling directly toward me.
I see what you did there.
And that tees us up for the next discussion topic, DK Bonanza, which I have not picked up yet. I have resisted it so far, but I've become close several times.
My kid really wants it.
What an absolutely wild fever dream of a game. Like, it's so weird. Like, I don't know what I expected of a Donkey Kong game. I think I expected something broadly like Donkey Kong Country.
That's kind of what I expected.
Yeah.
And like, it's not that. I mean, it's a little bit that. I don't know. It's like a throwback to the N64 era of like quirky 3D platformers with ridiculously amped up under the hood technology. Like you can smash through honestly obscene amounts of the environment and reshape the environment, all in service to getting giant golden banana gems that you eat. I don't know.
I was going to say, the game it looked most like to me was DK64.
And kinda, yeah, like it's in that vein-ish. Every NPC I talk to is either telling me something that sounds insane or tutorializing me, or both at once. I sat down with my partner and we played it. We've played it for like probably 3 hours now, and at one point they were like, "Do you understand what's going on here? Because I don't." I was like, "No, I have no idea what's going on here. I know we're collecting bananas and these purple glowy things are bad." They're like, "Okay, well, I got that much. Is there more to understand?" I'm like, "I don't know. I haven't played this game either." But it's fun. It's very cathartic to just smash everything.
This particular rendition of Pauline looks adorable.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't found Pauline yet.
Really?
So you unlock co-op relatively quickly, but your co-op partner is like, I don't know, a weird talking rock.
Yeah, okay.
I've heard about the talking rock, yes.
There are things to know that they just gave away in the Nintendo Direct about this game. The talking rock is in fact Pauline.
Oh.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I mean, it seems reasonable. And like you can like sing. Singing is important. Obviously, smashing rocks is important. Your mobility is like I don't generally think of DK as like a terribly mobile character, but like DK is super mobile. You can climb all kinds of stuff. You're not very good at jumping, but like you don't really need to be. It's got a kind of interesting combination of like there are not many enemies and they're mostly easy that we've run into. Presumably they get harder. The bosses are relatively straightforward, at least the ones we've seen so far. But there's some like pretty clever puzzles, and you get the ability to like shout at things and take materials from the environment and either shoot them or replicate them. And like sometimes that's really useful to solving puzzles. Like we had a whole thing that was like, how do we it's like, how do we get up to this space? You know, we need to hang we need to hang from this like grate. How do we hang from this grate? And it turns out that you could like pick up materials and spit them out at more of that same material to like create platforms. And we haven't figured out all the rules for that, but it was enough to to get us up there. It does a very good job of explaining, like, doling out how the game works to you in a reasonable way. Does absolutely no work whatsoever at why you are doing anything or what's happening. You're digging further underground for reasons that I couldn't possibly tell you. There
Because
might
it's
be some evil crocodiles involved, which would track.
Yeah, that sounds right.
But like to the extent that I've seen evil crocodiles of any kind, it's like a 2-second cutaway shot during a completely unrelated completely unrelated seeming cutscene. Like, I assume we're gonna fight King K. Rool or somebody similar at some point, but I don't know.
I mean, this particular character was conspicuously missing from all the marketing material.
Yeah, like I have no idea where this game is going. It's fun. It's really fun. Like, and part of the fun is I haven't played that many like environment games that I've really been super excited about. Like Red Faction was pretty neat, and that's kind of like the extent of me having fun with those. I know there's a lot of like voxely games and like obviously Minecraft, but like I've never really gotten into any of those. But this one is very fun. It feels meaningful that we can smash through stuff and collect genuinely hilarious amounts of gold measured in hilarious ways. They're just coins. I think you lose a percentage of your gold when you die, and I haven't the faintest idea what that even means.
So
But you get it
DK
back.
Sonic.
Yeah, you get it back at some point. It's measured to the hundredths place. I don't know what the unit is, but it's measured out to 2 decimal points.
Weird.
All right.
Yeah, like there's so many weird little things going on, and like they don't matter, but I can't help but wonder about them. We're eating, like you visibly eat the giant crystal bananas when you get them. You have to smash them up and then eat them. I don't know why we're eating them.
I mean, they're bananas.
Yeah, like
What else are you going to do with them?
as my partner put it, like, am I high? Do I need to be? But it is charming, and it's like it's odd in that way that Nintendo is very good at being odd. Like,
I mean, the best Nintendo games honestly seem like fever dreams.
yes, and this definitely
Bubble.
has that going on. Like Mario Wonder really hits some notes of just like, what is happening? What am I witnessing here? And this is definitely it rides the line of, it is fascinatingly weird if you're paying attention, and it's extremely whatever if you just turn your brain off. You're like, I don't know, I just smash things, it's fine. I don't need to think about I'm gonna smash things and go to the next objective point. Seems fine. But yeah, a lot of fun. Good game. Highly recommended.
So the BPL is a player-run event in Path of Exile, and it stands for Badger Private League. And Badger was apparently a person who ran it originally that then got a job for Grinding Gear Games and no longer runs it, but the community took over and ran it.
I didn't know Badger got a job for GGG.
Yeah, apparently he's worked for GGG for a while.
Huh.
Which is why he no longer runs the event. But so basically what it is it doesn't happen every league. But when it does, it is an event that people sign up for, and they are put on teams, and it is team versus team versus team. There's usually 3 teams, and there are a bunch of hyper specific goals that a team needs to accomplish, and whoever scores the most points wins effectively. And what this has led to is that players hyper specialize on just one thing. And this is a very hardcore, very focused event, hardcore as in player time, where like for I think 2.5-3 days, whatever it runs, like it's playing as much as humanly possible to try and compete these objectives. So like there will be teams that do nothing but betrayal to knock out all of the things. And I've heard it said that like if you sign up for this thing, you will learn the ins and outs of one league mechanic and one league mechanic only. And all of the resources in the guilds that are created for this event funnel towards doing whatever objectives are left. So I have a friend that has signed up for, this is his second one. And I watched some of the streaming when it started on Friday. And that was fascinating because I have never seen 6-player leveling like that in quite the strategic manner that it was. So like basically what they would do is, for example, in like Act 1, one person would go after everyone cleared Brutus, one person went to Fairgraves and one person went to Mervale, and everyone else that wasn't those people going and doing that were just resetting Prisoner's Gate over and over and farming experience. And then when someone got Fairgraves to phase 2, they would drop a portal and then basically go in a holding pattern until they got to Mervale and drop a portal. And then everybody would go to Fairgraves, get credit for Fairgraves. Then everybody would get to go to Mervale, get credit for killing Mervale. And then they would move on to number, or like Act 2 and do the same thing where like everyone would spread out and get to an objective and then drop a portal, and then everyone would chain through the portals, and they were ripping through the acts so fast. It was ridiculous.
That's so weird.
I've just
never wondered why grinding your games feels like it makes it difficult to play like multiplayer. It's because they're trying to slut on people like this.
Yeah, it's just like I've never seen this level of coordination in Path of Exile, and it was extremely impressive to watch. And like all the while they were basically leveling as Peacock, and everyone was like sharing the right, gear slots and stuff. And there were different teams that were leveling as different things, all to fill some niche. And then like spread out into the one piece of the end game that you're going to spend for the rest of the event, trying to rack up as many points as fast as you can so that your team wins. And it was wild to watch. I watched a couple days of it, and it was interesting. Like, I don't know that I would ever do it because I don't know that I ever want to play as focused as that event would require, but it's really impressive to watch the coordination.
Yeah, that sounds like, pro level. That's I don't need to do that.
Yeah, and the friend that was doing it is also in hard stuck in Guild Wars 2. So he comes from a specific kind of mindset. But
I see. Yeah.
But like it was super entertaining to watch like this event go by. Cause like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna level that way, but I can absolutely see how you can finish the entire campaign in 3 hours if you're doing it 6-player.
Wild.
And I would imagine like you're always kind of on the bleeding edge of being underleveled by doing that.
I mean, I assume intentionally so for maximum efficiency.
Yeah. Like it took them forever to get through Brutus. And I don't know what level they were at Brutus, but they were basically like zone res, rush back in, get a few points off. Yeah, it was just wild. Like, I mean, so if you ever see someone doing BPL and they're streaming it, tune in because it's entertaining to watch.
Always known this was a thing, but I've never actually watched someone do it.
Yeah, it's wild.
Some of the ways that people engage with video games are just like so orthogonal to everything I understand about that game.
Well, like legitimately, it felt like a speedrunner. Like that was the mindset that I was seeing played out. Is like people doing skips in games and things like that. They were more dissecting the game than playing it. I still think 4-Job Fiesta for for Path of Exile, though.
Abso-fucking-lutely not.
Sounds like madness.
It's an intrusive idea, Ash. It won't go away. I was looking at domain names for it.
Oh boy.
What? No.
I'm pro this as a thing to inflict on other people.
I think it would be hilarious.
Okay, sure. Absolutely that. Yes. I'm not doing it.
Not a chance.
No
way.
Hell no.
You're not gonna catch me dead. But
my thought was like you would like random misyndice, random main attack ability, random defensive layer.
It's actually that one that gets me. Like, I think random defensive layer is too much.
And then like
But
instead
building
of
the
Berserker
wrong
Risk,
defense on like the wrong side of the tree is so hard.
like instead of Berserker Risk, it would be all of those keystones that completely change the way a character plays. So like Chaos Inoculation, Eldritch Battery, what's the one that takes away all your regen but makes your energy shield regen instead?
I don't even remember what that one's called. I was thinking Valpact, which is the one that disables regen for a different reason.
I think there's only like 4 players who could even do this.
I mean, I think you can get through the campaign with pretty much any combination of things. I've gotten through the campaign with some pretty crappy characters before.
That's fair.
Like, successful in maps? Probably not. Beat Katava? Yeah, no, you could do that.
For extra points, they need to do it in hardcore.
I mean,
No.
Gauntlet is a thing, and it's happening soon. This Gauntlet is going to be with the alternate ascendancies from the Frisia event.
Is it?
Yep. This is not a thing I want to do. However, apparently there's a cosmetic for your hideout that looks like a giant gauntlet that you get from if you get off of the beach, you at least get a gauntlet for your hideout. And it will have flavor text on it for how far in the campaign you got. This one apparently has got way more support than the previous gauntlets have been. I played in Surgog's PvE version of the gauntlet, and it was just too rough for me. Like, the bosses just weren't fun. They were frustration gaming. In less frustrating news, we got the title announcement of the Guild Wars 2 expansion, Visions of Eternity. Also, whoever does the logo, like motion graphics, needs to be applauded, because each one of these modern expansions, the logo animation has gotten better. This one is
really awesome.
is amazing. Because like this one specifically, like the logo animation tells a little story. I'm very looking forward to fashion plates.
Oh my gosh, yes.
The important thing.
The true end game.
I'm laughing that an eons old Guild Wars 2 joke is going to become a reality. When they were teasing classes for Guild Wars 2 before it came out, they joked that one of them was going to be a bard. But then when the time came for the actual reveal, the bard was just an illusion and it was Mesmer. It looks like we're going to be getting a bard elite spec for Mesmers.
Yep, Troubadour.
That is fantastic.
I'm really
It's like a decade-old joke. I'm amazed anybody remembers.
I just really want the thief to be Gambit.
Yes.
There's playing cards.
The
Like,
thing
there's
I
3.
find interesting is that these elite specs aren't going to get like unique weapons, which they don't need because we've been given a bunch of weapons across specs
Right.
over the past 2 expansions.
I mean, I think the best thing that happened was decoupling elite specs from weapons.
Yeah.
I agree.
Like we've had 3 confirmed what they are, and then I guess today there were 2 more names teased.
I did not see the additional name.
Luminary and something else. The Gale Shot.
Gale Shot. Yep.
I'm guessing Gale Shot is whatever the thing that throws birds at people.
I do have to say, every time I play my Ranger, every single time, it makes me want to go back to Guild Wars 1 just so I can fill in the empty spots on my pet list. I'm going to have to do that at some point just to get that out of the way because it drives me crazy.
Okay, what is required to actually get those?
You don't want to know.
Is it like awful shenanigans, or is it just play a Ranger?
It's a lot.
Okay.
Are you familiar with how Hall of Monuments works in general?
Yes. So it's Hall of Monuments nonsense.
Yes. It's almost, I think, the end of Hall of Monuments too, because like I think the Black Widow is like at 30.
Yeah, I would have to actually get through. Guild Wars 1 at some point on any character. I don't think I have beaten any of the campaigns. I always hit a point where I bounce.
Yeah, and in order to get to, you need 30 points basically to finish the set. That was correct. Black Widow is at 30 points. And that requires doing a bunch of playing of Guild Wars 1.
Yeah. I'm pretty hyped for more Inquest nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't had any Inquest nonsense since season 4.
Not since most of them died.
I mean, yes, we did kill many of them during that.
Like, I honestly wasn't sure if there were enough of them left for, any future stories involving them. But
I mean, Inquest is one of my favorite bad guys. I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. Okay, what is the communicating with other players in-game topic that got bounced from last week?
So this is, okay, like this is of course my actual job bleeding into my fun because I don't know, for anybody who doesn't know, I am a professional game developer and part of what I do is I work on online games. But like, how do you communicate with other people in a video game nowadays?
I don't.
That's right. Like there's an interesting thing where it's like there was an era where I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly zone chat was what I did and still do.
Yeah, and like I would like to make a game that causes that connects people, that brings people together in a way that sort of these old, the older era of MMOs managed. Because I don't think that it is a function of, and like I don't know, maybe I'm completely off base on this, but like I don't think that it's a function of people not wanting connection with other people. Like I don't think that that's true. I just don't think that we create, like I think that we have been operating on these like outdated concepts of players communicating with one another that have like opened the door to making that experience suck.
I think the challenge is like it is way too easy for those interactions to be toxic, and
Right.
because that has become the norm, it's just not worth trying.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone is just completely fatigued of trying to figure out if something is going to turn toxic and getting bitten, and
Yeah. And so like and like that's the kind of thing that I'm sitting and thinking about because I it used to be that the main online games that people were playing were PC games and the player to player communication option was text.
Yep.
And like there hasn't been what I would call a significant like advancement in PC online gaming chat or like PC exclusive online gaming chat in that text sphere since like EverQuest.
I think the challenge is like the thing that keeps trying to happen in these games is pushing people towards voice chat, but like I disable all voice chat options immediately.
Like I want to hear people's random. I mean, it's been a joke. It was a joke from Penny Arcade in the early 2000s. It's not like it's gotten better in 20 years. Like Xbox Live voice chat has been a running joke for 20 years. But it leaves me with like, how do you foster good communications between players? I think about like Heroes of the Storm before they took the coward's way out, and you just couldn't chat. They just didn't have chat, and like it was honestly a delight.
Yeah, it immediately made it better than League.
And like for research purposes, I've spent about 20 hours over the last couple of weeks in Apex Legends, and I was expecting like I was taking my anti-venom doses and just like preparing myself for like, okay, cool, I'm gonna be bad.
Isn't the primary communication in that game pings?
It is. But I was like, everybody talks about having the best ping system. I've got to at least investigate it. And I suspect that all of the other communication systems are going to be just a full-on blast of toxicity directed at me for being a player who is not good joining a game that's years old. And mostly my experience was like nobody uses the built-in voice or chat other than pings. Like sometimes somebody would, and like coin flip on whether they were going to say something annoying or like, I mean, not that they'll ever hear this, but like shout out to the dude who was like, bro, you are better than this barbecue I am eating. And like, I don't even know if that was a compliment, but I don't know, maybe feel good in the moment. But like, mostly it was just pings. It's purely utilitarian. Like, I'm not developing a connection to anybody through the ping system, but it was definitely less toxic than like Call of Duty or Overwatch.
I mean, I still think that the answer to building a non-toxic community is never creating a situation where other players existing is a bad thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's crucial.
Like, other players are always a force multiplier, always a positive. You're never actually in direct competition with them. And in that scenario, like, it's hard to be mad at other people.
Yeah.
And becoming that person that nobody wants to be around is the thing that actively hurts you.
Yeah, like it makes me wonder if, because it's like, okay, well, if you go back, you know, I'm gonna speak for Kodra, who's not here, but I know that he would hearken back to like the days of classic WoW, where you had a reputation on a server, and you can only really do that if you have these like kind of static. It's like if you have these static groups and they're small enough that you can remember people.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wonder, is like, I don't know, maybe is the massively part of MM an outdated concept because like we can do too much massively.
It's like maybe there is a maximum size that a community can be and remain healthy.
Something monkey sphere.
Right? Like what does the game have to look like for like any one of us to intentionally and maybe enthusiastically is too optimistic, but enthusiastically engage with a stranger?
Well, I'll be honest, like, I mean, Guild Wars 2 is the game that I have probably engaged the most with strangers in, because it has that there's really no negative outcome to this thing. And also, like, as a result, I'm way more protective of the community that's been built. And if there's a random person in chat, like, struggling and needs help with something, I have thrown my tag up numerous times just to help them get something done. Whereas the social friction of me doing that on the regular has been too much for me to actually command on the like anything other than just like random occurrences. But like, I'm willing to do it because I don't want this person to have a bad time in the game when it's going to take me like 5 minutes to summon forth the masses by throwing up a tag. But like, that's very unique to that game. And probably before that, it was Final Fantasy pre-Asmongold.
Yeah.
Like the nature of our server changed drastically when there was a mass influx of WoW people.
I think the other
Well,
thing
also I was going to say that also the Dungeon Finder is sort of a thing that makes groups, like, it's too many people. The thing Tam said earlier.
The thing that I found with FF14 is there was a time, regardless of the culture of the community, where I would happily throw myself into random groups because I was competent at my job and it was fun to compensate for people who weren't. But as I have less time or just don't feel like playing that game in particular as frequently, I am less competent at my job, and it makes grouping up with other people much more fraught. And so if I want to do something that's relaxing, it's going to be something that I can do solo where no one can get mad at me if I screw up except
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah, because like I had a lot of anxiety in 14 over tanking for groups that I didn't know. Mostly just because I don't know, like the pace of dungeons was so fast, and tanks were expected to know exactly what they were doing and pull at the appropriate speed and such. And it just seemed like a lot. So I just wasn't willing to do it.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of the reason why I don't tag up in command is I don't know the ins and outs of a lot of these fights. I know how to do it as a ranger. I have no clue how to do it as anything else. And there's so many good commanders that I don't want to be a bad commander.
Yeah, it's the it's rude to suck at Warcraft video.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but like writ
basically.
large, like and it's an interesting like how do you unwind that?
You have to lower the stakes somehow.
Yeah,
like the difference between an optimal player and a rolling your face across the keyboard player needs to be pretty small in order to make it to where it doesn't really have that much risk involved. And like so often the difference between warm body and optimal gameplay is massive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, looking back, I think about how much of early WoW raids were just about it. It was like, yeah, you had a 40-person raid,
but you only needed 20 competent people.
20 competent. If you had 20 competent people, you were crushing it.
Yeah, you needed like,
I was gonna say like
10,
8,
maybe 10 really competent people, and a few more decent, and everybody else just needed to at least be able to handle the damn bomb. And know not to move when flame ring is up.
I think kind of that's the problem is though we've allowed this minority of players who have a kink for really hard content to lead the narrative.
Yeah, so much stuff now, like everybody who's there has to be playing at peak performance or it just all falls apart. And
I think of WildStar, which was partially built on nostalgia about WoW's big raids, but and as much as I love the game, those raids required everybody to understand the dances in a way that those big WoW raids did not.
Yeah, there were a couple of bosses where there was one particular thing everybody needed to do right, and then the rest, like, you could have a few people assigned to handle any given mechanic. Like, honestly, I'm pretty sure the most involved thing I had to do in the entirety of Molten Core was be part of the trank shot rotation.
But like that also felt cool. Like that was the one moment for a hunter to shine.
Yeah.
But you only really had to care about that one fight, realistically.
Yeah.
You hit one button at the right time. It's like hit one button at the right time, like 5 times in a fight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember how long the trank shot rotation was.
However long it took us to kill it.
How long did it kill that dog?
I want to say it was around 8 seconds or so, maybe. It was either 8 or 12. I don't remember which, but because we had to have, I think 4. Well, I think you could do it with 3, but we always did it with 4.
Yeah, 3 was the minimum you could do it with.
That way, in case someone missed it, you could have somebody step in and still be back in time for their own rotation.
Because hit chance was still a thing. Yep.
But like really, okay, so WoW's been running an event of like amping up the drop rates of a bunch of mounts, and I've popped my head back in and killed some bosses to see if I could get like Invincible or Ashes of Alar or something like that. And going back to those older raids, like, yeah, it's nostalgia that's looking at it, but they're just better structured than anything that I did during more modern WoW. And I think it was because they are more simplistic. Like,
yeah, like I think it really started with Nax, that desire to have a raid that only a tiny percentage of players would complete, and like so every boss became a dance or a puzzle that everybody had to solve.
Yeah.
And it definitely drives people to have a very particular, like, the level of difficulty that this is the bar that we are setting socially.
I mean, and I think it creates these scenarios where groups are formed to successfully beat a tier and then they break up.
Yeah.
Rather than this is my group of friends and we're going to do this thing together.
Yeah.
I mean, because if you think about it, like, so many of us that are sitting in this chat right now bonded through raiding, and it wasn't because it was super hardcore. It was because there was lots of open time to chat.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, I would believe that maybe the answer is you just need easier games.
Well, and like, okay, so this is something that I've thought about before, where I made so many friendships through EverQuest because there was so much downtime.
So much forced downtime.
You were filling the gaps of downtime with chat.
Yeah. Sitting down looking at your spell book, regening your mana,
Yep.
waiting for the boat.
Or waiting for the next spawn because you're farming these 3 mobs.
Waiting on your camp. Waiting on your druid teleport. Your wizard. So much downtime.
But the more actiony you get, I think the less downtime you build in. And as a result, there's less time to notice other players or have conversations.
But also, I don't know if I could play a game that had that much downtime.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm used to the faster pace, but
like, I'm nostalgic for all that, but I'm not a college student anymore.
But I do notice, like, I mean, going back to Guild Wars 2, like, it's an action, like, MMO, but I do notice certain players, because it has really good social hubs.
Yeah.
And I'll see the same people all the time. And also, it has really good cosmetic expression, which allows you to notice people.
I always notice when Team Choco is there dancing.
But then there's, like, people like Praxis, which is a person that goes and hangs out at whatever the weekly jumping puzzle is, and you can join their squad and teleport to friend and get credit for the jumping puzzle. Like, they're doing a massive service to the community, and I immediately recognize them.
Yeah, and I wonder, like, I don't know, maybe it's like, can you build more of that, but at a smaller scale? So it's like,
yeah, like I hadn't thought about it. I think that's a thing, is like is providing ways that players can perform services for other players.
Right, allowing
just
for
at
hyper
random.
specialization.
Yeah.
And also, like, so I'm imagining a game where, okay, so say total population of the game is 50,000 players, and you have dynamic server infrastructure where you're thrown into zones with random players, but maybe there's a stickiness to it to where your client is going to favor these 100 people, and unbeknownst to the player, they don't know who their cohort is necessarily, but it's going to attempt to throw you into a instance with these 100 players, so that you're much more likely to keep running into the same people over and over.
Yeah, like it's like the same dynamic load balancing that you're seeing in games now, but like weighted towards
with some stickiness associated with it.
Yeah, and then it's like put a reasonably like, if you can put a reasonably effective block list, so that you don't end up stuck with some jerk.
Right. So, like, if you're blocking someone, that will, like, change the weighting of that person and your interactions. But yeah, like, I think you could build some sort of, like, server within a server just through a technology like that. But, like, it would be a thing. Like, definitely it would take a lot of engineering to make that work. But I think that kind of pseudo stickiness to, like this virtual cohort of other players might provide that. And obviously you'd want to blend in like pre-existing groups, like, you know, increase the likelihood that you and your guild members spawn into the same area, that kind of stuff too. But
yeah, I need to spend a bunch more time in Sky, because like it feels like that game company with Journey and then Sky is like one of the only companies that's really trying to help you build meaningful connections with people.
Yeah.
Like with strangers, not with people, but specifically with strangers.
Yeah. Like that deliberate, you know, having you pairing you up with completely random people and giving you limited specific ways to communicate with them.
Yeah, like limited and like not abusable. Like there was a great because you know, doing a bunch of reading on this, and I managed to dig up a thing from a griefer forum, like specifically a group of people
Wow.
whose whole thing is like we relish going into games and
ruining your day,
like ruining other people's days. And it's like they're like trading notes on the best ways to do it in various games, and like what gets actioned and what doesn't. It's like an absolute cesspit. But I managed to extract somebody's review of Journey, and the level of frustration was palpable in their review, because they just could not figure out a way to ruin somebody's day that actually felt like it was persistent in any way. They were like, the only thing that I could do that was like even slightly negative to another person is to move away from them. Nothing else registered. Like, let me know if you figure out how to crack it. And like, okay, so the most toxic thing you can do to another player is not be present. I mean, okay.
All right.
All right.
Works for me.
Like that seems great.
The most toxic thing you can do is go away.
Yeah, like, I mean,
Get
at
on
some
it.
level, it feels at some level it's really profound. Like, I remember my experience in Journey, and like if somebody had if the person I had been running alongside had gone away, I would have been sad about it.
Yeah.
But that's it, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, you'd be like, well, they're gone. I hope they're okay.
Right. Or like, maybe they were frustrated, or maybe they thought we needed to go that way.
I mean, honestly, all of the social media tech of friends and friends of friends would probably get you a pretty close approximation of the server within the server, as annoying as that can be.
Yeah, I mean, like, at that point, why aren't you just making private servers, though?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like, okay, if you're going to just play on a server with all of your friends, like that. And that's the thing is, like, I think that there are plenty of games that would do just fine if you could have private servers, and would in fact be better for it. Like,
well, no, I mean, what I mean is like, okay, so Facebook, for example, I am now having to deal with Facebook for the first time, really, because,
I'm so sorry.
Like I said last week, spouse is gone. Her entire family uses Facebook for communications. And the only way I'm going to stay in the loop at all is to also be on Facebook. And right or wrong, Facebook is really good at presenting people that are like the fourth degree of separation from you, that are loosely connected, but not really. And that sort of thing would exist in a gaming space too. So like, for example, Tam, you have a friend who has a friend that you don't know, but then I get stuck in an instance with them and realize somehow over time that we have connections.
I think that's, yeah, if games could like replicate that experience of living in a small to moderate sized city.
Yeah.
Like, I live in a city of approximately 250,000 people. And that's a lot of people. But so often it feels like a small town, because I am forever running into people and, oh, we know each other from this thing like 20 years ago. Or, oh, we have this friend in common, or, all the time.
You end up with a lot of people that I would call on waving terms
Mm-hmm.
that you don't actually know, but like they're kind of a familiar-ish person that if you were stuck in a scenario where you don't know anyone else, you might go over and strike up a conversation.
Yeah. Like one of my coworkers who, and I don't remember when I found out, learned this, but it turned out like he was married to a friend of mine from high school who is friends with a whole bunch of people that I went to college with, and so would semi-regularly be at our annual Christmas white elephant party, and eventually discovered that like, oh, two of them are married and have a kid together.
Yeah, like guy I went to high school with has a private Discord, and in that Discord is one person who works at the same place I do that I had no clue there was a connection, and also one person who used to teach with my wife. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just that regularity of discovering that, oh, I already have this indirect connection to this person, and also the ability to realize that. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's one of the big things that I think is mostly missing in massive multiplayer games, that if somehow that could be reproduced. I don't know.
Well,
And the equivalent of that back in the old WoW days was, through the guilds that existed.
Mm-hmm.
You recognized a guild tag, and that gave you some common ground. Anyone have any final thoughts about anything we discussed tonight, or anything real quick that they want to talk about?
I would like to point out for anybody that hasn't tried the Persona mobile game, the mascot's persona is Rob Roy. And Rob Roy, the persona, is an SD Gundam wearing a kilt. That is amazing.
Amazing. I can follow up on last week's show a week later, and Superman was pretty good.
It's freaking
I still need
great.
to go see it.
That
is high praise from you, because I know that you historically don't care for Superman.
Like the two superheroes that I have diverged the most from people in here with in the past have been Captain America and Superman, and like this Superman I'm a fan of. Like, I would watch more of this.
Good.
Kindness is in fact punk.
Yes. I'm just so happy that it seems like every review I see, people make a point of pointing out that Mr. Terrific was amazing, and that makes me so happy.
Like, it's also just funny. Like, I wasn't expecting it to be as funny as it was.
I mean, it is James Gunn.
But it's not as over the top as like Guardians of the Galaxy was.
Mm-hmm.
It is way more subtle humor.
Good.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
that was one of my fears going into it, was that it might go too far into the humor, the way that I kind of feel like Love and Thunder did.
Yeah, no, I think because it wasn't trying too hard, I laughed a lot harder.
Good.
At the points at which it was funny. Anyway, following up to be like, yeah, I actually super recommend that movie.
Good. Yeah, I've got to make some time to go see it, both it and Fantastic Four, here soon.
Well, hopefully you enjoyed the show, and we will see you again next week. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
See you.